What in the hairy hell? Hey, watch the language. You shouldn't speak that way. Around your elders. Grandpa? Oh, was it really only I thought it was a great something, not just our grandpa.
My little Rin, you're such a woman now. They grow up so fast.
What? Silver! Meet Grandpa Kazan Yamaoka! Okay, that's what I thought. Well, technically not just Grandpa. Technically he's my great-great-great-great-great-grandpa, but that's a lot of greats to say in a row.
I haven't seen my little Rin since I watched over her from the afterlife when she was just a little girl. And I expect you all to say the great. It's a matter of honor and respect. Except Rin, she can do whatever she wants, my precious little angel. But you...
Oni stares at you with his demonic red eyes. You're pretty sure even the decorative third eye on his mask is looking at you.
You mongrel! You must treat me with respect, or so help me I'll be cleaning bits of your head off my kanabo.
A kanabo is like a metal baseball bat covered in spikes.
I'm not sure what a peasant like you is doing so close to a descendant of the noble Yamaoka bloodline in the first place. Dirk, Claudine, explain what's going on to me.
It's Dwight, sir, and Claudette. Remember, I explained to you that you were coming to meet with your great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter's suitor and to give or withhold your approval.
5 greats!
Oh, I just said 5 by default. I didn't realize he only did the great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Sir, your honor. Oh, that's... I'm getting lost in all the greats. Dwight says that. Dwight, he's a samurai, not a judge. Also, it's like cowboy music. Cowboy samurai. Grandpa, they must have summoned you here because they think you have great judgment. Because if they summoned my father, I'd be too distracted by torturing him for all eternity to continue with the rest of the... whatever this is. Show, game, experience.
Oh, yes, that makes sense. Only a man of my own power and magnitude can help.
Self-important much? Nice to meet you, Kazan.
Only my friends and family call me Kazan. Those who tremble in fear at my presence call me Oni.
You're seeing a serious resemblance to Trapper, and not only the sheer size of the man, but also his attitude. Apparently, Spirit has a type. You sure you can or want to measure up to that? It dawns on you that, wait a second, maybe you do resemble Oni. Every time you've tried to look at your own reflection, you've become dizzy and confused. This definitely deserves more thought, but now's not the time to consider the fact that you might be some kind of hulking vampire with like the first ever case of self-blindness. There is a massive samurai mad dogging you from 2 steps away. But you don't scare me at all, so I'm gonna stick with Kazan.
Peasant! I realize now the true purpose of my visit is to extinguish your light.
Like great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, like great-great-great-great-great-granddaughter, apparently. Oh, hold up there, Grandpops, not so fast. You're only supposed to kill them if they deserve it. First, you should get to know them a little better.
Young people these days, always waiting to kill people, insisting they must deserve it. Back in my day, you did what needed to be done because your nobility depended on it.
So his story, like, he was, like, super hardcore, strict nobility rules, like, cutting down people that offended him sort of thing, like, to the point that everyone else is like, what the hell is wrong with that guy? And all the peasants revolted, and he killed a bunch of them, but they killed him in the end. His day, for such an imposing presence, he sure is giving off serious old man yells at cloud vibes.
You see, when I was a young man, we didn't have foreigners in our land. Didn't need them. We had an abundance of culture already. A little too much if you ask me, but I didn't make the rules. The rulers did exactly how it should be. Literature, art, commerce, theater, fashion, poetry, puppet shows, ghost stories, courtesans, gambling, fighting, fine dining, fast food, public execution. What were we talking about?
Spirit giggles at her great-great... Okay, I'm not saying all those every time. At Oni's forgetfulness. You wonder, does she even like this guy? She sure hates her father, so... Like, listen up, old man. We don't have time for you to list every activity available to a samurai in the entirety of the Edo period.
Silence, peasant. You're showing your ignorance. Samurai were forbade from many activities that didn't befit the Bushido code, such as attending certain theatrical performances, for instance. Sometimes, however, a samurai would put on a disguise in order to seek out entertainment. Now, I'm not saying I did that because I had honor, and a body built like an entire castle that is quite hard to hide. But clearly you have neither my honor nor my physique. You don't even know about the ins and outs of the shifting rules of traditional Japanese samurai etiquette, you fool. Uh-oh. Rin, would you want such an uneducated admirer as this?
We find it hard to believe that any contemporary person knows all that much about who was and wasn't allowed to do what leisure activities over 100 years ago. However, you're really not sure how to handle this massive demonic old man.
Oh wait, I get it. Sweet Rin, my beautiful descendant. You've invited me here to do what you're too kind to do. Bash this jerk's head in. Claude, Doris, fetch my kanabo.
Rin, wrap your robe around this mongrel's hands and hold them still. We'll splatter their brains on the beach,
together as a family.
Grandpa, no! Also, her name is now Rin and not the spirit. That's cute. Grandpa, no, that's not why I invited you here at all. In fact, I didn't invite you. Claudette and Dwight did.
Yes, sure. Wink, wink, wink.
This whole saying wink out loud thing is getting out of hand. Him and Trapper really do have a lot in common, don't they? Also, the animators didn't want to do winking, which seems like it'd be easy to do. I swear, Silver has a good soul in the heart of a warrior. They fought for my love in their own way, faced down death more than once, and put up with their fair share of nonsense. Nonsense which seems to be endless. Can we, like, I don't know, wrap this up already?
Of course, who am I to expect anyone to wait around for my approval? I've only been hanging out as a ghost and watching my bloodline be polluted by cowards and quitters for 5 generations. Just come give your ancestor-in-law a hug.
Sword drawn, he beckons you closer. There's no way he has ever hugged anyone in his entire life. You know, I'm good over here, actually.
Rin, now, push them my way and I'll split them in half. The sacrifice of this usurper to the Yamaoka bloodline will surely bring us back to life and set us back on the course to honor.
You're so silly, Grandpa. We both know that only one sacrifice can get our family back on track.
Revenge on my father, your great-great-great-great-grandson, traitor to the Yamaoka name. The lust for violence in your voice, it fills me with cheer. I will never forget who I am. I suppose if this is the person you want to be with, to go on your journey of bloody revenge with, I should trust your judgment. The strength inside of you blooms from the same cherry tree that was planted centuries ago by our shared ancestors.
And if Silver ever treats me poorly, you have my word on our family's honor. I will wield my katana and gut them like a fish. Then wouldn't that just be replicating what your father did to your mom? Well, okay, never mind. Never mind. I mean, I don't plan to treat you poorly. A tear rolls down from behind his demonic mask. Are you sure you want to marry into this?
And one last word of advice, my dear girl. The father stuff, don't forget it, but maybe stop focusing so specifically and obsessively on it. What he did, it was awful, but it's already done. Do something for yourself now. Just my 2 cents. Be well, Rin. I will see you again soon. Now let's go, servants. Clint, Denise, return me to the stables. I assume my dragon has been fed and tended to.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I swear, it's still better than dealing with trappers, Dad. Sorry if I was disrespectful of your great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. He seemed like a special guy. Realize I'll never measure up to someone like that. A warrior with a hell of a fashion sense. Oh, I mean, that mask. Don't worry, I'd never expect you to. Or want you to, really. If all I wanted was the biggest brute alive, I'd be down in Trapper's Cave right now, avoiding his vintage bear traps. But that's not the life I've imagined for myself. This sense of abstract duty, anger at a world changing around me, a lust for blood, that's no way to live. And yet, as you now know, that is the Yamaoka way of life. Forever I'm cursed to battle against the dragon that lives inside me. Or at least maybe I was until now. Call me the dragon tamer, baby. Oh, come on, video game me. She's like sharing this special moment of like, my family's blood boils with hatred, and maybe I finally found the one person to come and you're just like, hey, smamagama, hey. My video game self gets killed. I will not be as disappointed as I was a minute ago. Yeah, thank you. I'm agreeing with the killer instead of myself. You haven't won this game yet. Please don't ruin it. Sorry. I have no idea where that came from. I think we spent enough time in this lantern. We should get back to the beach. The moonlight sets a romantic mood as storm clouds roll in and surround the black lighthouse. You know, the sun might have set, but if we wait long enough, it will rise again. Spirit removes her sheer robe, showing you her strappy black bikini. Her pale skin glows under the light of the moon. Maybe you could help me get a head start on applying tomorrow's sunscreen. Again? No, oh, yeah, oh, yeah, of course. Last time was, well, I definitely felt more connected to you after. To be totally real with you, I kind of just asked you as a goof, but I really enjoyed it. I swear, though, if you tell anyone about this, I will not be labeled a foot. Not that there's anything wrong with feet, it's just that something about that kind of attention really gets people talking. Yeah. Feet? I don't get it. But if you're into it, you do you. You know, if you consent and your partner consents, that's okay. Steady. Steady. Yeah! Okay. I'm not gonna do the voice every time, because, you know. Hi. Oh, that's so goddamn hot. I love feeling your hands sliding up and down my feet between my toes. My skin has never been more moist. And you said you didn't want to be labeled a foot person? Really? Are you sure you said that? Okay, you said that. Are you sure it's true? Hey, the light's still going up there. That's cool. I know, most people are like, mostly naked spirit rubbing lotion on her feet. And I'm like, whoa, look at that cool lighthouse. But that's why she likes me, because I'm a cool guy. Get up here right now. Aw, smoochy smoochy. They're surprisingly soft and warm. The sensation is incredible. Clouds cover the moon and you find yourself on the beach with Spirit in complete darkness. Oh, she undoes her bikini, snaking through the air, wrapping around your body, lifting up off your feet. And that's gonna be like, oh no, I fell back on my bikini, and then the, like, clouds clear. Come here, you. So this is what it feels like to fly. Yeah, and she's like, what'd I tell you about the smarmy remarks? As Spirit pulls you close, you feel bits of glass press into your flesh. Pain and pleasure mix and wash over you like the ocean. Salty air stinging your skin as you writhe against your undead lover. The lighthouse howls. It's just jealous. In the darkness, you're pretty sure the Spirit lets the dragon inside of her take over. If it kills you, you are sure it will have been worth it. The clouds part just as you manage to pull yourself, exhausted, away from Spirit. A chunk of broken glass is lodged in your shoulder. When you pluck it from your skin, it drips blood. Sorry. I think I got this stuck in me when I was having the best night of my life. Drags her fingertip over the sharp end of the glass shard. Keep it. Consider it a memento. I've got plenty more where it came from. You arrive at the beach to find Claudette and Dwight waiting for you. Now is the time, Sylvie, to face your destiny. Actually about that. Can we talk privately? Maybe, not here, maybe someplace else would be better for this talk. How we feel about schedule, Spirit. Very strongly. And you know how I feel about telling me what to do. Don't do it. Like I said, I'd rather have this talk with Silver privately. It's not right to do here in front of everyone. You know, from my experience in upper management at my father's mine, I learned if you're gonna fire someone, it's best to do it in public so they don't freak out. Please, enough of the fire talk. Wait, you think... No, she couldn't be. They seemed so in love. I mean, not really. Spirit is still Spirit. But if I tried to imagine Spirit in love, I suppose she hasn't attempted to murder him yet, so... Okay, fine. Your guess is as good as mine, really. That girl is very hard to read. A word of advice, though. If you're going to end it quickly. In my experience, the more pathetic the creature, the more annoying the final howls are. I don't need any advice. Everyone out! Except for Sylvie. Did someone say final howls? That's kind of my whole jam. I can stay, right? Yeah, he tortured people, mix into his music. Yeah. Terrible guy. Especially you. Out! Lame. Alone with Spirit, you feel something awful hanging in the air. More awful even than the lingering smell of that Cleaver body spray. I'm gagging. We're all gagging from Cleaver butt. Spirit, Rin, I don't know what you plan on saying, but before you say anything, I just know I really, really enjoyed my time. Getting to know you over the past few days helped me to get to know myself. For that, I just wanted to say thank you. That's sweet, and you're welcome. And you know what? It's that kind of thing that shows me you've got a good heart inside you. Too good for me to carve out and toss into the ocean, but also too good for me to love. I need someone who shares my interests, someone I can connect with, someone jaded and dispassionate, only driven forward by a desire for revenge. I need someone who isn't so warm that I feel cold in comparison. I need someone who isn't you. Can we just be friends? I don't know if... Before you finish that, just know if we're not friends, we'll probably become enemies, and I will destroy you. Friends it is! I'm glad to have you here for me when I need you, but also not too close to me when I don't. So yeah, I'll see you around. He starts to leave. Wait. What, that's how this is? You're just leaving me here? I'm not sure I'd use the word ends. Oh, I didn't, sorry. Is this how that ends? You're just leaving me here. And for that matter, I wouldn't say that I'm leaving, but us, we're definitely through. The fact that you can't see that, it just proves that we never really belonged together anyhow. Good night. What the hell? Just spent all this time on the island doing everything I can to get to know you, only to be told I should just leave the chocolate factory through the side door? I don't know what that means. Anyway, I said good night. See you around. Oh, I'm sorry. What a bummer. Why did she keep saying she'll see me around? Oh gosh, I have no idea. Friends forever achievement. And so, my precious killers lived happily ever after, as they should, learning to love themselves first and foremost, whilst trapped in a never-ending cycle of torture of my design. Oh, wait, did I just spoil my true identity? You made it this far, you should probably know that... Yeah, You'll have to play again to find out more. That you're the entity. I already called this like when I first met you. I get it. Goodbye, Silver. See you again later. And again. And again. And again. Forever. Achievement. 1 down. Hello, we just finished the playthrough where I finished romancing that lady over there, except that we got the Friends Forever achievement, and now, I thought that was the spirit's ending, you know, you have wild sex in a completely black cutscene on the beach, and then she says, oh, you know what, I just want to be friends, you know, we're not meant to be together, and I just thought that was how Spirit's ending went. I went and looked at some achievements afterwards, and it turns out, the Friends Forever is a thing any killer can have. It's where, you know, you get their affection high enough, but not too, or, you know, you get it high, but not high enough. So I figured, well, especially since we don't want to do a whole playthrough for, you know, another killer, we want to see, it's a dating sim. We want to see like the true good ending for Spirit, right? And because all the killers have a lot of endings. There's, you know, stuff where, I mean, what we get, you know, Friends Forever. There's, you know, where you break their heart. There's the thing where you kill you. You know, maybe if I do more recordings of this in the future, I'll have a montage of all the you getting murdered options. But I figured, at least for this one, we want to see the true ending for Spirit, right? So I'm going to do a very quick playthrough and just do some highlights of, you know, things that I'm doing differently this time. And apologies if I don't get all the voices right. I am doing this the next day. It was a very long stream yesterday. I was going to do it afterwards and I just couldn't. So apologies if not all of the voices are, if suddenly someone's changed voice, but okay. So this doesn't have anything to do with Spirit, but I wanted to pick this the first time, and so we just dug up the coin from the dead guy's mouth. Okay, yeah, you can have your coin back, narrator. In exchange, you'll receive the answer to one of the following questions. Can I have my gold coin back? No, you can't. But you can have this. Oh, hey, that's new. The perk. I've heard this is an incredibly useful perk called Up the Ante that will give you a little bit of extra luck when you need it most. All right, so we're here in the personality quiz. I'm gonna pick a couple different things. It says it doesn't really matter what you pick. You know, some people like what you say a little more, a little less. Overall, I don't think it really matters. The guide I'm looking at thinks it doesn't really matter, but we'll pick the ones that Spirit likes that we didn't pick the first time. In this case, flight. Oh, flight for sure. Technically, I suppose I can fly. Honestly, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. As far as I go, still not where I want to be. This one, it doesn't matter. I just kind of want to see what happens if you say 3-day-old corpse. Nobody would expect me to pick this, so I'm gonna say 3-day-old corpse. That's a pretty edgy answer, right? Pretty dangerous. I talk about corpses. No biggie. Those are no good to me unless they've been frozen. You'd be surprised by how quickly good meat can spoil. Or maybe you wouldn't be surprised? I'm still getting to know you. Okay, everyone likes when you pick vanilla, but I have to pick horseflesh, come on. My favorite ice cream, it's, horse flesh? Horse flesh. I mean, tell me, what is the best flavor of ice cream? Horse flesh! Damn it, don't knock it till you've tried it. You got a reading comprehension problem. I just told you mint chip is where it's at. You almost bought yourself a game over there, buddy. That's right, I can end your life whenever I want to. I'm in control, so don't you forget it. If I say you like mint chip, you like mint chip. Now try again. Tell me, what is the best flavor of ice cream? All right, we're trying to get a special ending. Please don't kill me right now. All right, where do we want to go? Interestingly enough, you want to pick the bar both times, despite the fact we know Spirit doesn't drink. The Spirit doesn't like Spirit. It'd be great to relax for a second at the lounge. To kick up your feet, look out over the ocean, relax on your own terms. Who would want anything else? Dry, comfortable, enjoying a cool drink on a hot day, it's the best. I mean, what kind of fool, what kind of monster, what kind of mask-wearing psychopath would finally be granted a break from the constant grind of chasing and fighting to get ahead and then choose to exert themselves in, quite frankly, any way whatsoever?
Why am I the only one who gets it? It's time to stop living by their rules. I won't do it any longer.
Yeah, we should probably give her a second to calm down. Hey, actually, that is the one thing about redoing this the next day is it's earlier in the morning, which means I have my low voice back. I haven't been streaming for 4.5 hours, so I can, it took me a while to decide on her scary voice, and that's the one, doing it low is the one that hurt my throat the least, so I can at least do that now, right? All right, this time, doesn't matter as much, but you get more dialogue with her this way. Look, I didn't come here to party. I'm just trying to make the best of a very strange situation. Oh, how about a daiquiri? I know how to make that. Skip the liquor. I'll just have mine avert. Sure. What was his voice? Sure you will, kid. Don't mind him. We don't need to soak ourselves in booze just to please someone else's expectations. If you ask me, there's enough spirits here already. Besides, alcohol just numbs you to the painful realities of the world. I choose to face them head on. You'd never do something like that. I don't know, hide from it all behind the world's largest hat or anything. Please allow me to ignore any fashion advice from the man wearing a doll's face as a mask. Not a doll's face. Jerk. And this time we are going with, we know we did last time that Wraith likes Frankenstein. Her one is Dracula, which makes sense. Obviously, Trapper is going to be books, and part human, part wild beast will be Huntress, so. Dracula? Oh, we're already making an ass of ourselves in front of the new people. Wait, I am the new people. Dracula's one classic that's still scary. Be seduced by, like, a beautiful stranger only to learn later that they're an immortal villain? It's downright thrilling? Yeah, I guess, but I was gonna say that despite the deviant behavior of Dracula and the threat of possible danger or even death that he poses, you can't help but get turned on by the liberation from the status quo he represents. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. So what if some old doctor says he's a bad boy? You're supposed to reek like garlic and sleep alone? Who do they think would buy into that? If you're gonna be trapped in the nightmare that's undead life eternal, which I know a little something about, you could do a lot worse than great clothes, a castle, and a lover who doesn't take shit from anyone. She's got a point. The scariest part of Dracula is thinking that no one will ever be quite as interesting to make love to as a vampire. Ugh, enough about these old... Still got it, even in my one day later old age. Now you're looking across a beach towel at Spirit, lust in her eyes, sweat glistening on her skin. Your heart races, you can feel your pulse pounding in your ears. Spirit takes you by the hand. You sit face to face at a private section of the bar. Alright, so far it's all been the same as the Trappers. Spirit, I have some bad news for you. Something in my teeth, don't I? I think it might be seaweed. I have no idea how long I was in that ocean. No. Oh, maybe. But that's not what I was gonna say. This is not happening. Not now, maybe not ever. Excuse me, last night on the beach, you and... Never mind. If they think I'm gonna make out with some stranger just because a bottle told me to, they've got another thing coming. And so do you. Namely a katana into your heart if you ever try to make a move under such circumstances. No, I wasn't gonna... Yeah, I know. You seem pretty harmless. Not all that bad to kiss, if I were interested, which I'm not at the moment. Are we gonna tell them we kissed? We are. I'm not above lying to get what I want. Wait, whoa. Wait. So the thing about me being not that bad to kiss, was that a lie? Like, getting me to play it? What? If you want the truth, figure it out for yourself, but don't expect this life to just hand you gifts like me. All I was ever handed was pain and suffering. Treat me well, and I'll return the favor.
Otherwise, try a different route and see what happens.
Hey, I had to break up such a passionate moment. Alright, so interestingly, while you are cutting up dinner, you don't want to completely mess everything up. But if you get all perfect scores, you actually get affection points with Trapper. So you want to do well, but not too well. I mean, unless you're trying to go for Trapper, then you want perfection. We are refusing to eat Felix, but this time we're not going to be trying to lame-ass lie about a seagull. Look, guys, it's not the food or the company. I'm just super self-conscious how I look when I eat. It's just pretending to be grossed out by dinner, so I'd have an excuse not to chew in front of everyone. Ugh, sorry if I made things awkward. I am actually extremely hungry. Yeah, watching people eat is gross, but try to relax, not worry what everyone else thinks. It's so important to always remember people are watching you, judging you, definitely not ignoring, right? Guys, is anyone listening to me? Typically a group that includes one, if not more, cannibals staring at you with meat juice dripping from their chins would be quite scary. However, right now you're barely able to keep your head up, let alone get scared and run away. You wake up to find Spirit holding your limp body, gingerly pouring cool water into your mouth. Don't you just love the ocean at night? I do. Staring out over the vast darkness of the ocean really validates the feeling inside me that we're all truly insignificant and the only thing worth pursuing is revenge. I have to wonder, how could anyone believe anything else? You look out into the darkness of night and ponder her question. Well, it's a simple question. How could they? How could anyone not feel small and alone in the face of such massive nothingness? Maybe it's Spirit's words, maybe it's the ocean, or maybe it has always been this way, but you suddenly feel connected to Spirit's words. I may not remember much about my life before, but there's one thing I know to be true. I've always been. Don't tell my wife. Also, I guess don't tell her about all the crazy sex we had. Also, I already told her, so never mind. I guess that's okay. They always will be alone. Spirit has turned from looking at the ocean, is looking directly at you now. It's a funny idea, isn't it? Being alone. Together? It's the best we can hope for. Maybe. Maybe it's too much to hope for. Maybe it's impossible. Pretend we know nothing. Is that just arrogance? I was so dumb. So busy trying to please everyone and be the perfect student, the perfect employee, the perfect daughter. I didn't take care of myself, and now I'm all I've got. Worst of all, I got distracted from my true purpose, my destiny. The purpose that was sitting inside me my whole life. Okay, so this might sound a bit silly, but there's a dragon that lives inside me. I've always known, but I've tried to ignore it. When I couldn't ignore it, I tried to push it down. So stupid. You're not stupid, that sounds badass. Right? But I didn't let it out, and then I, chop, and now that dragon is pretty much a one-track revenge beast. But enough about me, what's inside of you, stranger? It'd be funny. We're gonna go with this one since we're trying to get, you know, perfect ending for her, but no dragon, just a lot of fire. I'd kill to have a drag. Not the best choice of words. I mean, a dragon sounds awesome. Honestly, though, I don't feel like I've got anything inside me. Just darkness. Never-ending darkness. I thought Spirit was the biggest goth on the island until you arrived. Maybe I could light a torch and search through that darkness. But just as things are heating up, you hear a flurry of footsteps behind you. All right, time to pick someone to tell a story. Obviously, we know who we're picking. Like, and even now, I don't have to because we can do it. But I was gonna say, even when I did, you know, Wraith's playthrough, I was gonna pick Spirit just to hear what she said, because as I said, I want to hear them all tell their own story, just because that's interesting. Like, just as a DVD lore sort of thing. I mean, yes, these killers are different from their actual game counterpart. Really? You want to hear from me? Don't let her talk you out of it. She is great with ghost stories. I don't know where she gets it, but she comes up with the scariest stuff. Seriously disturbing, even to me, and I literally pulled a guy's skull and spine out once with my bare hands. Talk about bullshit stories. If everyone else is gonna chit-chat, I guess I can just sit down and... Huntress's eyes go red behind her mask, and both Trapper and Wraith take their seat. They know when it's worth fighting and when it's not. Well, I hate to break it to you, but tonight's story isn't scary. It's a romance. Too late now, though. I was selected, so I'm gonna tell my story. I call it The Prisoner's Kiss. You notice that Huntress and Wraith are both sharing a giant tub of popcorn. Nobody offered you popcorn. It was a dark summer night. Warm rain seeped from the sky like blood from an old wound. Detective Hada, a celebrated investigator and renowned hostage negotiator, was called to the scene of a strange occurrence, unlike anything she had ever seen before. When she arrived, the scene was chaotic. Crowds had begun to gather. A dozen other officers were doing everything they could to keep curious onlookers away. But how could anyone resist wanting to know more? For there, in the middle of a busy market, had appeared a giant box. Strange, alien in its appearance, and massive in size. No one knew how it got there. Was it delivered? Built on site? In such a busy area, how could something like this just appear? A mystery. It was as if conjured by magic. But this was no illusion. The huge box was very real, and someone was trapped inside. Spirit pauses her story to look from face to face of each audience member. She has no expression, but you feel her vibrating with energy. She is in her element. Also, she's apparently not telling the story of how she was, well, you know, her past, so, maybe that's just Wraith that does that. Help me! Cried someone from inside the box. It was a man, terrified, trapped, imprisoned, his voice trembling. By now it was as if every detective in the city was there, looking this strange structure up and down, inspecting it on every side. It didn't make sense. There were no doors, no windows, no fasteners or seams. It was completely solid and much too heavy to move by hand. Solid, that is, except for a single small slit, just enough to see the bloodshot eyes of the prisoner trapped inside.
I don't know what happened. I woke up here, and here I was. I'm so scared. Please help me,
cried the man, as if pleading for his life. No stranger to tense situations, Detective Hada comforted the man. She used her training to calm him, buy time for the other investigators. However, time did not bring clarity, only anxiety, as the night dragged on with no progress opening the box.
And as the night grew longer, the seeping rain puddling on the ground, the man inside grew more desperate, more sad, lonely, more pathetic, and in need of help. But Detective Hata was no help at all. Powerless to save him, guilt began to weigh on her like it never had before.
Don't let me die in here.
The man begged.
Don't let me die alone.
Stay calm, instructed Detective Hata. You're not alone. I'm here. Hell, half this town is here. We're all in this together, and we won't let this be the end of your story. Looking through the narrowest of passageways, Detective Hata watched her own reflection in the tear-filled eyes of this strange, sad prisoner. Together they both wept in silence at the hopelessness of the moment.
Promise.
Asked the man.
Promise that I'm not alone.
Yes, she promised, I do. A simple pledge. She felt an instant connection like she had never felt before. Not to her family, not to her friends, not to any of the other hostages she had worked so hard to free before. So when the man's eyes closed and backed away, it didn't scare Detective Hata, for she knew he would return. And he did, pressing his lips up to the narrow slit in this horrible puzzle box, repeating his question again, steam flowing from his mouth as he asked,
Promise? Promise that I'm not alone?
Yes, she promised, I do. And pressing her palms against the cold outside of the box, without truly knowing why, Detective Hata leaned forward and placed her own lip up to the opening, letting her breath creep into this strange structure, allowing her warm lips to fall on this man. It was a gentle kiss, a moment of compassion. She could feel in this brief contact the beating of her heart, pulsing blood through every inch of her body, matched beat for beat in this soft touch.
Thank you,
said the man, no trace of fear remaining in his voice. He backed away into the darkness, disappearing in a single moment of eerie calmness.
Get back!
Yelled an officer, suddenly thrusting himself between Detective Hata and the box, breaking a silence that would soon be filled by a cacophony of whirring gears and clicking latches, a symphony of mechanical activity happening all at once. Something had triggered, as if an unseen lever pulled, and the side of the giant box began to slide open. Detective Hata gripped her flashlight tightly and pushed forward into the foggy interior of the giant box. Her feet splashed in the puddled rainwater, her heart racing as she swept her light from side to side. And that's when her eyes landed on the man. Or at least, landed on what should have been him. There in the corner of the box was a pile of pieces. Like parts of a doll, almost, pulled apart, or perhaps this is just how Detective Hata had to think of him in that moment to survive. A collection of segments, limbs, pieces, disconnected from one another, clearly severed and placed in a neat little pile. And atop that pile a head, cold, pale, eyes open, lips an icy blue. Spirit stares at the fire, her own expression lifeless, her lips blue, tears fall from her chin and soak into the sand at her feet. You're blown away by the story. Yes, like, okay, we did race, and it's like, okay, like, getting to see what it's like from his perspective, and, like, how he felt, like, okay, Wraith, I mean, I'm glad you opened up and all about your past, but hot damn, now, that's a campfire story. Just saying. You're blown away by this. Story was so good, I'm tongue-tied. You're blown away by the story, and it's safe to say you're not alone. Everyone else is looking into the fire or up at the sky or anywhere but its spirit. It was you who chose her. You who initiated this harrowing tale. So sad. So creepy. So sensual? She really went into great detail when it came to describing that kiss. Too much detail. And now no one is sure to act. I think that's supposed to be no one is sure how to act. Oh wait, I'm sorry, I signed, not on this playthrough I haven't. I won't say anything bad about this game. Ah, we're not at that part. I think you made a typo game. Sorry, I'm ruining. Dwight and Claudette are staring daggers at you. You have to do something. This game was supposed to be a lighthearted romp. Please, I said
do something.
Cool story, bro. You stand and without saying anything approach Spirit, reaching your arms around for a hug. Her robe, hovering in the air, begins to wrap itself around you and squeeze you into her. It's kind of like being hugged back, but also like being tied up. I'm not saying no. It's certainly not what you expected. Instinctually, you pull yourself away, but it's an awkward movement and you nearly fall over into the fire. Spirit says nothing and floats away without so much as a goodbye. You, meanwhile, realize everyone had just watched this truly strange interaction from the corners of their eyes. On that note, everyone decides it's time to take a break and split up a little bit so they can all have a moment alone before bed. You know, I was watching you while I told my story. I could tell it was having an effect on you. This fog that follows me around, I could feel you breathing heavily, taking me in.
You and I are both absolutely flabbergasted at that piece of information. Like, legit, you learn something new every day, even when you're a god. I mean, a narrator.
Complex much? You're doing it again right now. You need to calm down. You should come to the hot tub with me. Dipping in hot tubs with the Spirit? You've come a long way in a single day. I just want to be totally clear, even though that story bore some similarities to my life, it was not about me in any way, shape, or form. Not symbolically, not metaphorically, not any other ickily.
I believe you completely. Sure, you were cut into pieces in your life, and so was the person in the story.
A perfectly normal coincidence.
Look, sure, you're on this island, trapped, one might say, in a most puzzling place.
Also, a completely regular coincidence.
And sure, his lips are blue, your lips are blue. Well, no, they're not. They're pink. I'm looking at them right now. I mean, your lips are blue.
Really? You'd call this blue?
Searching for answers, hoping to find revenge. Okay, I guess similarities stop there, I suppose.
Coincidences.
Right, sorry, the coincidences.
Get this through your head, whoever you are. Samurai blood runs through my veins. Well, maybe it's coagulated by now. Don't sweat the details. Regardless, I'm a descendant of noble warriors. Thousands of years of training with bladed weapons preceded my entrance into this world. Do you know how many swords that is? A lot. You've got to figure that with that many sharp edges, a person is bound to get disconnected from a body part here and there. The truth is, and I wouldn't typically share this, so don't go blabbing it about, I dreamt that story. Like watching a movie in my sleep. When I was just a little girl, years before my father sunk his blade into my skin. Never been able to shake it.
That's a very adult story for a child to dream.
Do you believe me?
I probably, in the first playthrough, would have been like, yeah. But we know she's aloof. Says I believe anything. And for that matter, who even cares what I think? Our beliefs are our business, no one else's.
Well, I'll be. That's a strong take. You've got to cultivate your own garden. I just admire you. You're not offering up your thoughts or opinions simply to feed the curiosity of others like some of the more desperate residents of our little paradise. Good for you, I say.
Now you've got me wondering, do I believe you if you believe her or not? You shouldn't. And if I know everything, because trust me, I do know everything, don't I already know the answer to my own question about if I believe your answer to Spirit's question? Whoa.
This ocean air got me tripping. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract us both. What's important is that a certain corpsey cutie floating in a cloud of magical mist might still be waiting for you to say the right thing and free her from her puzzle box. If you believe that she is the... Damn it, you got me going again. Unfortunately, before you can follow this conundrum to what will surely be a mind-numbing cycle of new questions, you find a certain two someones standing before you with a fresh towel ready to dry you off. Sorry, kids, but it's time for bed. I might be the youngest one here, but I am no kid. I do, however, love being wrapped up in a fresh, clean towel. My mother used to help me wash my hair when I was young. She'd comb out all the tangles, tie a ribbon around it before sending me on my way. I miss her. You watch as Spirit stares off into the distance, her hand gripping into a tight fist. She doesn't notice you're watching her at first. When she catches you looking, she turns away, roughly grabs a towel from Dwight, and then pushes him and Claudette aside as she floats off. The last few minutes aside, Trickster trying to poison your coffee, have you been enjoying your time here on the island? Yes, I am not suspicious that there's no option. Yes, I'm not at all suspicious that there's no option here. What an encouraging response. And we're so glad you're not suspicious. Hey, Claudette, maybe they aren't suspicious because they figured out what they're actually doing here? Zero chance, they're still clicking. Even right now to see how you'll respond. Hey, look at that. Yeah, they don't know anything. It doesn't matter though, we're so happy to hear you're having fun. I didn't say I was having fun. We are all having fun, Silver. You hear us? We're all having fun. All right, so we are on our day date with Spirit. She's giving us some lotion. We're gonna let her help. Now she's putting lotion on herself. Now we went with the floating hands because I was like, oh, don't ask her about that. And apparently I got it backwards. You don't want to ask about that. You do want to ask about this. So I would not have guessed that. If you don't mind, what's the deal with all those shards of glass sticking out from all over your body? You really want to know? You're not creeped out by them? You're not creeped out, just nervous because you know the answer might be very personal. But she is a person you want to get to know. I was just thinking about what you must have gone through to end up like that. Had to have been horrible. It was worse than death. At least death ends eventually. So yeah, interesting that it's, I mean, like, you know, how was I supposed to know that the one is like, thanks for pointing out my horrible murder, asshole, and the other is, oh, you're not creeped out by these remnants of my horrible murder? Thanks for asking. What is a fella to do? So last time we were nice to Dwight and Claudette, but apparently to be like, if the killer is good, great, or at least Spirit, but probably the others, you have to ignore them, which I mean makes sense. You're siding with the killers, not the survivors, so sorry guys. Is there anything else we can do for you? Anything at all? Anything? Manners book, perhaps? It's fine, we're used to this kind of shabby treatment here on Jerk Island. Alright, now, here's another thing. I don't know if this will be the same or not. We did a story and we told a really stupid story about getting into a bar fight. You have to not tell a story, at least for Spirit. Listen, I'd rather not. Why, you have something to hide? You're telling us you don't have a single story in your entire life. So sad. Truly, humanity has reached its crumbling nadir. I just want to hear your voice. Why are you being like this? Because you are all much better storytellers than I am. Oh, look at you, wooing everyone without offending anyone. The killers blush flattered. Except Spirit, she sees through you. Sorry. All right, that wasn't a good story. Interesting. So, like, I wonder if that actually is true, or if just Spirit's not impressed with anything you do there. Like, she doesn't like your stories, but you're also like, it's not me, it's just you're also great. And everyone else is like, yeah, and she's like, uh-huh. All right, back again. We went to the lighthouse, we survived the exploding dark purple energy, we we survived the Oni, we survived Trapper's quiz. We just had a hot, passionate beach sex in the dark, and now we get our truant. Back on the beach, the other killers roll their eyes as you show up with Spirit, doing that couples thing where you walk with your hands in each other's back pockets. You know it's obnoxious, but love will do that to a person. Last day, you beautiful piece of... You've done so well. We're almost at the finish line. You didn't think I brought you all this way without a plan, did you? What kind of sinister body of salt water do you think I am? Silver, Spirit, welcome back. Since you're both still alive, we can assume you had a good time? You point to the many open wounds on your body, complete with bits of sand and dirt stuck in them. Yeah, you could say that. We got down and dirty. And by dirty, I mean literally like sex on the beach. That's not the drink version. That's already like sand. You know, Anakin was right that it's rough and coarse and gets everywhere. You want to, and like, with all the open wounds from the glass, that's just... I mean, yeah, hi Dwight, yeah, things went well. I think some of those might be infected. You really should get them checked out. If you're actually going through with this, the thing you should get checked out is your head, my friend. Spirit is nuts. Survive a week dating her. Didn't you just give us your blessing like 3 scenes ago? You might think she's all sad and introspective, but the truth is she's a demon, hell-bent on revenge, who will ultimately stop at nothing to satisfy the lust for death that courses through her veins. I can't get her out of my mind. Duh. I know all of that, and I think it is hot. She's the goth girlfriend of my dreams, and you're just jealous you lost her, so you're trying to run me out of town. Well, guess what? I'm not scared of you. I'm with Rin now, and she's got my back. Literally, she like carved her name in it with a piece of broken glass or something. Ugh. Luckily, it was only 3 letters long. I thought you meant like she... All right, we get it. Everyone is super tough. All you do is kill, no matter what. But we've got a show to finish, and this is the finale, so we need you to hold on for just a moment longer. After all, that was the point of this whole experience, to give even the most demented killers a chance at finding love. And it worked. To think, my official bio called me distinctly below average. Well, look at me now, world. I'm about to officiate the wedding of 2 complete maniacs. Please, Spirit, take this bouquet and prepare your vows. As soon as you both say I do, we can send you off on your exclusive honeymoon. Hold up. Nobody is saying I do today. Yeah, nobody is... Wait, what? Marriage is an archaic social institution put in place by men in power thousands of years ago to maintain their control on the world. I'm not interested in playing their game. I'm not interested in doing what anyone tells me or living by any rules I don't believe in deep down in my heart. In fact, now that I think about it, I don't remember being asked if I wanted to take part in this bootleg reality TV bullshit in the first place. Did anyone here agree to this? I'm still not entirely sure what's going on. Spirit has manifested her katana, and in a moment the mood has changed from a romantic climax to a place of terror. Whoa, we're all having fun here. Look, if you could just say I do, we can... I won't. With a slice of her blade, Claudette is no more, replaced by two halves of Claudette, neither of which are especially alive. Dwight is horrified. There's a chance he actually wet himself. And lucky for him, khaki hides a lot of things. Unlucky for him, urine is one of them. Meanwhile, Trapper, Huntress, and Wraith are eating popcorn. Where'd they get that popcorn? You were under the impression that Claudette and Dwight did all the cooking around here, so... Never mind. So now's not the time to think about who popped the popcorn. A gruesome murder just happened. This is for you. You know what to do. Spirit hands you her katana. You look on a whimpering Dwight and feel everyone waiting for you to put him out of his misery. Look, we're on a very tight schedule. You respect schedules, right? If you kill me, I'm afraid of what comes next, so I don't know. Could you, maybe not? You think back to that strange moment in the lantern room of the Black Lighthouse. When the light hit Dwight, there was something off about it all. As if he wasn't real. At least not really human. But is that a good reason to do him in with Spirit's katana? Or is that actually a reason not to kill him? Oh, this doesn't make sense. The only thing that makes sense is taking control, taking it away from them, taking it into your own hands and carving out a new destiny for yourself. Kill this pathetic one. Kill him and join me on my mission. Together we will be unstoppable. That is quite an offer. What are you gonna do? Well, we're going for the Spirit ending, so... Also, I recall you two were trying to kill each other, and you in the sitting thing, like I remember you two specifically were trying to kill each other and not like resurrect here, and you specifically said how you wanted like Trapper to kill you and end it all. So like now he's like, no, don't kill me, but we're just... You raise Spirit's katana. And with the ease of slicing a wedding cake, you cut him in two. His dead body slumps on the ground in front of you. That was so incredibly sexy. Rin places her hands over yours and you both hold her katana, your fingers intertwined. Aww. The family that slays together stays together. She'd probably stab you for that. You look to the other killers and see something new on their faces. Respect. You're one of them now. Ruthless, uncompromising, splattered with blood. A killer. You heard it here first, folks. BBD leak. The next new killer. My father is going to really crap his pants when he sees the two of us. We got Dark Heart achievement. What are you waiting for, lover? I like the... It's not just like, here's evil sexy Rin and then like evil like beach. You also get evil seagulls with red eyes. Of course you do. That's funny. You sit on the beach below the Black Lighthouse, watching seagulls devour the liver of a dead pirate who is washed up on shore. Just thinking about how much I love you, Rin. Well, stop thinking and show me. Is this a, like, have sex thing, or is this a, like, let's go murder someone thing? Because I don't know if I'm ready to put both of those together in our relationship. I gotta take this slow. You think we'll ever leave this place? What do you care? I don't know, I hope we don't. The end. So yeah, true ending. You become a murderer and have a dark love as you are corrupted into one of them. Hooked on you. I'm interested in playing again. I don't know if I'll stream it, if I'll record it and do like special episodes on Sunday.
Yeah, I am, you know, and I can skip some of the stuff. Maybe, you know, it depends how it plays out. Definitely helps save my voice if I don't have to read everything. But yeah, that was a hell of a game. Like, I'm trying to say how to say this. I enjoyed it as its own game. And what I mean by that is, when I went into this, like, I was definitely thinking the like Dead by Daylight dating simulator. Well, but like, it sounded so ridiculous and funny that it seemed like fun, and it seemed, you know, they weren't taking themselves seriously, so it seemed like fun. But even without like the like, I don't know if campy's the right word, but campy's not the right word, but I don't know what word to use instead. So I'll just say campy. Like, besides its campy value and enjoying it for being a goofy parody, it actually works as a game in its own right. Like a game that was fun and engaging, and like, I want to know more. Like, you know, yes, this isn't like the next best, like the next great American novel. Never mind that they're based in, you know, Canada, but yeah, I'm not saying it's like the best thing you've ever seen or the best thing that's ever been written, but like, it was intriguing enough about what is going on, what this setup is, like how it relates to actual Dead by Daylight. Like, yes, clearly the ocean is the entity, and it's, you know, other dimensional, it can do whatever the hell it wants. Like, is this, you know, did it take the killers out of Dead by Daylight and like do this for whatever reason? Or I want to know more, and you know, I want to see how it plays out with other people, because that's funny. Might have to change Trapper's voice because that hurt after a while, but I mean, what else can you say? Yeah, why don't you just listen to the Trapical? Trapper says, "What? Someone talking about me?" Just well, I just kind of sit here processing everything that just happened, being like, huh, we legit had like dating sim, and we also had a bunch of cool spooky lore and a comedy game and like reality show parody all thrown into one crazy tropical drink. So while I just let that percolate in my brain, you can listen to the tropical rendition of the Dead by Daylight theme. So that was a full playthrough of Hooked on You, but it was only the Spirit's Path. I would be interested in knowing if you want to see more, if you want to see Wraith and Huntress and Trapper, or, you know, I'll be playing them anyways for myself, so it's just a matter of, you want me to record them and put them up for you, or just, you know, do it myself? Maybe, you know, be streaming them on Twitch, but I know these videos are longer. Okay, actually, I don't know that recording this before I actually do the editing, but, you know, these videos are going to be longer than the standard, you know, half-hour DVD match videos. I know that for sure. So, you know, are you interested in seeing these longer videos? On the one hand, maybe you're like, these are kind of, you know, too long for my taste. On the other hand, you're like, hey, this is more entertaining than just a DVD match. We got the full story, you know, you're doing cool voices unlike other people. Hey, jury's still out on if they're cool voices, but at least I'm trying. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want to see more of the paths of Hooked on You or not, because I'm fine either way. It's just what you guys want. Whatever your answer is, I'll see you next time. As for now, I got a tiki skull to take a drink out of. That was so incredibly sexy.